Here's the truth. Most men never dare to say out loud. Older men spend their lives believing women choose them for money, for status, for the things they can show on the outside. But that's a lie. Because the truth is, women don't fall for the car, or the house, or the paycheck. They fall for something deeper, something so subtle that 97% of men never even notice it. And yet, when an older man has it, a woman will do something she would never ever do with anyone else. If you miss this, you'll miss everything. Number 1. Set up the problem. Most older men walk into the dating world believing they already know the rules. They think women are looking for the man with the thick wallet, the expensive watch, the shiny car that screams success. They assume that confidence means raising your voice louder than everyone else in the room, or bragging about achievements, as if those alone will make her lean in closer. But women are far sharper than most men give them credit for. They can feel when a man is trying too hard, when his charm is rehearsed, when his confidence is nothing more than a mask covering insecurity. And that's where the frustration begins. Because an older man will do all the things he's been told, dress sharp, speak strong, flash wealth, and still he watches as her eyes drift, her attention fades, and her interest disappears. He's left asking himself, why do I do everything right, but still get overlooked? That silent confusion eats at him. And it's the very reason most men never discover what really makes a woman choose one man over another. Number 2. Reveal the core truth. Here's what most men never realize until it's too late. Attraction has almost nothing to do with age, wealth, or looks. A younger woman doesn't fall for an older man because he has gray hair or because he's stacked his bank account. She doesn't even care about the number of candles on his birthday cake. What pulls her in is something far more powerful: his energy, his presence, the way he carries himself when he isn't trying to impress, when he isn't scrambling to look younger, when he isn't desperate for her attention. Women are wired to feel this difference. They sense when a man is calm in his own skin, when he doesn't need to prove himself, when he can sit in silence and still radiate strength. That kind of quiet power is magnetic. An older man who embraces his maturity, instead of competing with the youth he's already lived, becomes rare, and women are drawn to rarity. It's not about chasing her. It's about being the kind of man who doesn't need to chase at all. The shift happens when a man stops performing and starts being. When he owns his years, his scars, his lessons, his wisdom. That's when she feels something deeper than attraction. She feels safe, intrigued, and curious. And once she feels that, everything changes. Number 3. The one thing women do. When a woman finds an older man genuinely attractive, she does something most men overlook. Not because it's loud or obvious, but because it's quiet, subtle, and real. She leans in, not just with her body, but with her energy. Her eyes soften, her posture mirrors his. Her attention locks on him as if the rest of the world has suddenly gone silent. She may brush his arm lightly, not in a forced or calculated way, but as if her body simply wants to close the distance. She listens, not with the polite nod that women often give when they're uninterested, but with a real hunger to understand, to be in the space he creates. And the difference is undeniable. She doesn't check her phone. She doesn't let her gaze wander. She doesn't retreat into distraction. Instead, she leans forward. She laughs a little easier. Her voice softens, and her presence lingers. Why? Because in that moment she feels something rare. She feels secure, safe, and yet at the same time, deeply intrigued. That's the combination most men never give her. It's not about seduction lines or expensive dinners. It's about energy. The kind of presence that makes her want to invest her full attention. And when she does, you'll know. Because a woman never gives that kind of energy to a man she doesn't feel truly drawn to. Number 4. Why 97% of men miss it. The painful truth is that most older men never get to experience this deeper kind of attraction, because they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. They believe they need to compete with younger men, so they try to act young, dressing like someone half their age, forcing energy that doesn't feel natural, pretending to be someone they're not. Others throw money at the problem, flashing cars, watches, or status symbols, hoping she'll be impressed by the shine. But women can smell it instantly when a man is performing instead of simply being. And then there are those who chase validation, needing constant reassurance from her attention, her compliments, her approval. They don't realize that every time they seek validation, they give away the very power that would have made them attractive in the first place. Women don't pull back because a man has gray hair or a slower step. They pull back because they sense insecurity, because something in him feels unstable. And when a woman doesn't feel secure, she quietly disconnects. She won't argue. She won't tell you. she'll just drift away. That's why 97% of men never see it. They're too busy trying to prove themselves rather than owning who they already are. Attraction isn't lost to age. It's lost to energy, and the moment a man learns to shift that energy, everything changes. Number 5. What makes the 3% different? The difference between the 97% of men who struggle and the 3% who seem magnetic is not luck, youth, or wealth. It's the way they carry themselves. The rare few are grounded. They don't rush to fill every silence with words, they don't push for attention, and they don't chase approval. Their calm energy alone speaks louder than anything they could say. They also have depth. They listen in a way that makes a woman feel seen, not as if she's being sized up or judged, but as if her thoughts actually matter. Self-assurance radiates from them because they are comfortable in their own skin. They don't need to pretend. They don't need to copy someone else. They don't need to perform. And then there is their emotional strength. The ability to stay steady when life throws challenges, to smile through storms, to remain composed when others would lose control. Women notice this instantly. An older man who can sit in silence without fidgeting speaks louder than the one who brags about his success for hours. A man who listens with patience is remembered long after the one who tries to impress with noise. These men know who they are, and that quiet confidence creates a magnetic pull. It's not about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about being the man who makes her feel safe, curious, and understood all at once. That's why she chooses the 3%, because they stand apart without even trying. At the end of it all, you have to understand this. It's not about being younger, richer, or luckier. None of those things create lasting attraction. What truly matters is becoming the kind of man who makes a woman feel something she cannot fake, safe, curious, and deeply drawn in. That is the rare gift only a man who owns himself can give. And here's the truth. 97% of men never see it. They spend their lives chasing the wrong things, exhausting themselves trying to prove worth. But the ones who understand this secret, they never struggle again, because they've unlocked the one thing that makes all the difference: presence. So if you're listening right now, let this be your turning point. Stop chasing. Stop pretending. Stop proving. Start owning your presence, your calm, and your worth. Carry yourself with the quiet strength that doesn't need applause. Because when you do, women notice. And when they notice, they do what only happens with the men they truly desire. They lean in, they give their attention, and they stay.